Podcast 2021, Week 2 edition. Whoo boy, well, Wise, how you feeling this week? I mean, did your boys make you proud, or do you see improvement there?
They did make me proud. I mean, the only sad part is we continue to lose running backs every week. At this point, we're going to be calling up Frank Gore and trying to see if Frank Gore wants to come back because literally we cannot keep any single running back on the field healthy at all. We have a day-to-day, I think, for Mitchell, Trey Sermon's in the concussion protocol. So obviously it's rough. But I think they said they were doing something. They had like Lamar Miller, TJ Yeldon, and like Duke Johnson, I think, were called in for some looks or whatever. We'll see how that goes. But no, other than that, I was definitely satisfied with how they played that game against the Eagles. It was a good defensive standing goal line on that one series. I'm happy about it. They got the W. They shut down that Eagles offense after the Eagles looked pretty good against the Falcons, but I'm looking forward to seeing if they can keep it up next week against the Packers.
Definitely. And as you know, my boys didn't fare so well because I swear, if anybody is our kryptonite, it's the Raiders. They've beat us in 6 of the last 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I mean, and the thing is, we didn't get a run because the thing is, our defense played lights out in the first half. And the thing is, I'm so used to the Steelers starting slow. It's like, okay, we're a slow start. I mean, Big Ben needs some time to warm up. But like I said, against the better teams, you can't do that. And not to mention, we lost 3 or 4 of our starters to injury. So that hurt even worse. And not to mention, our secondary was getting torched left and right. Yeah. By the way, that was a hell of a stiff arm by Najee Harris. But anyway, we got a hell of a lot to improve on. Like, I'm not in panic mode just yet. However, losing games in this faction can raise a few question marks, especially going on later in the year.
Yeah. Do you feel like after that loss, do you feel that the Raiders are like a legitimate AFC contender, or do you feel like there's still a little bit of fool's gold? Maybe they caught your Steelers. They kind of snuck one from the Steelers, and the Raiders aren't really going to be a team that are going to be keeping this up going forward. Or you think this is a sign of just the Steelers are starting to just kind of come apart a little bit? Big Ben's maybe starting to show up at his age, especially, and maybe this time this might be the last season, the last go ahead. What do you think?
Well, and I want to respond to a comment that I got on my Facebook post regarding that loss. It was from my boy Malcolm. He said that he feels like that the Raiders aren't getting enough credit because they're being overshadowed by the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos. So yeah, well, more likely the Chiefs and the Chargers. They're the big brother. Hey, what's going on, Flip?
What's up, Flip?
Oh, what's up, guys?
Yeah, glad to have you on.
We just started.
But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, a lot of people feel like, my boy Malcolm said that he feels like the Raiders aren't getting the credit they deserve because they're being overshadowed by the Chiefs and the Chargers. Like I said, I understand that, but also you gotta, like I said, the Steelers, they're bipolar anyway. I mean, come on, you beat the Bills, which you were favored to lose by 7 points, but then you lose to the Raiders, where you were favored by a touchdown over. It makes no sense. But whatever. I mean, a loss is a loss. I'll take it on the chin. We'll get them next week. But anyway, Flip, how'd your boys fare this week? Well, we know how they fared, but how do you feel about that result of that game? I mean, I kind of feel like there was a couple of bogus penalties that the Cowboys got away with. But I mean, go ahead.
No. What you're saying is exactly how I feel. There was a lot of penalties that just changed the momentum of the game, and I'm not gonna put it all on the refs, but they did a lot to help a certain team out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Anyway, fellas, let's recap week 2. Game of the week. Waz, what was yours?
Yeah, I think we were talking about it before we started. I'm gonna put the Chiefs Ravens game up there. That was an incredible game.
Yes.
A lot of spectacular plays. Kelsey with a crazy yards after catch touchdown. Then Lamar Jackson with that crazy jump pass touchdown. and then that crazy finish. Again, as I was kind of talking about it, I was completely perplexed because in my mind, I felt like the Chiefs were going to go ahead and get the score, but I thought it was going to get a touchdown. I didn't think they were going to be trying to play for the field goal.
Yeah.
And I just assumed that they were just going to be like, Patrick Mahomes would just be in shotgun, or they would just be throwing it every down because, the Ravens weren't doing much to shut down Mahomes. But, they were playing it kind of slow, playing the clock, and then they had a handoff, and, Edwards-Helaire lost it, and Ravens recovered. That was it. That was the ball game. It was kind of a shock. But it was a very entertaining game to watch.
Definitely.
And I don't know. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. It's still wrong, but I still think they're probably the general favorite right now, at least in the AFC for sure.
Right.
And I'm not sure what to think of the Ravens. The Ravens could have easily lost this game, and been 0-2. But they snuck out a win. Lamar Jackson had a rough start, but he pulled it together in the second half.
Yeah.
So it was good to see.
Now, I got a question before we move on, fellas. Do y'all feel like with the Chiefs-Ravens game, do y'all feel like this is the first time we've had a hat trick? And by hat trick, I mean a game of the week, the most improved team of the week, and the choke of the week all in one?
That's possible. Yeah, you're right. Actually, it's possible. We could argue that the Ravens not only are most improved, but the Chiefs choke. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. You're right. This game could qualify for hat trick. But I think there's a couple of close games that also could be fall into that category as well.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. All right, Flip. Who was your game of the week this week?
My game of the week. It's probably going to have to go to the Ravens Chiefs. Just off of the top of my head, I know there was a few games out there that stood out to me.
Yes.
What can I think of?
Arizona, Minnesota was fun. Tennessee, Seattle was fun.
Very.
The field goal, yeah, that one was fun. Titans Seahawks was pretty fun. Seeing Derrick Henry just kind of run all over him and then steal it in overtime. That was fun. Rams Colts actually ended up being pretty decent. And you know what? That Giants Washington game was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was.
You know what? Yeah, I got to go with Giants Washington. Yeah. I remember watching that. That was hilarious. The ending for that, because when they missed the field goal and then the Giants got the call on them. Oh man, that just made my night. Definitely. So yeah, I got to go with Giants Washington on this one.
All right. Now for most improved team of the week, I've got 3. My first one is the Green Bay Packers, obviously. I mean, because come on, from getting embarrassed and blown out by the Saints last week to completely dominating the Lions. But it's the Lions. The Lions are like the whooping boy. No. A win is a win, especially, if you're Aaron Rodgers. You got to redeem yourself somehow. My second one was the sleeper team of the week, which was the Carolina Panthers. I didn't expect them to win. But a part of me kind of wanted to pick them last week, but I'm like, nah, I want to play it safe. But I should have picked them last week. But yeah, they were a sleeper team who improved a lot. And of course, like I said, you got the Ravens who pulled out a win, because there's this narrative that Mahomes and the Chiefs have got Lamar Jackson and the Ravens number, but that's been I mean, the thing is, you can still kind of say that, especially if they see each other again in the playoffs, which you very well might. But yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say my number one most improved team of the week was the Green Bay Packers. Wise, what about you?
I'm gonna go with Buffalo. Buffalo just laid a smackdown on Miami, who previously had a pretty close game and previously had close game, but ended up beating out the Patriots. And the Bills, coming off their loss, need to prove something. I think they showed out. It was I think it was 14-0 for a good chunk of time in the first half. But then they just laid the smackdown in the rest of the second half.
Yeah.
Did pretty well. Dolphins, they were without Tua, so Edwards said in there he didn't do great. But overall, it was just it was a good performance, good solid performance. So it just to beat a divisional rival, in that fashion, especially in their stadium. I think it's a good statement most improved team for the week.
All right. Flip, who's your most improved team this week or week 2?
My most improved team for this week probably is going to be the Raiders. Just because when they beat the Ravens last week, we were kind of thinking to ourselves, man, was that Ravens team just caught off guard, or was it, just the Raiders, had their number and got lucky? And then you have them come out and pretty, not easily, but pretty handily, they took care of the Steelers, who just ended up beating the Bills in a surprise matchup. And so when I saw that, I was thinking to myself, okay, this Raiders team is actually kind of, changing around. They've been actually coming out here and playing good defense and offense. So it's I got to say they're the most improved team for me, even though I'm not really a big fan of saying that.
Yeah.
But, I gotta go with the Raiders here. I think the Raiders have sort of proven themselves now to us a little bit.
I don't know if I'm ready to say that just yet, but I mean, because they could hit that, wall slump. Because like I said, because this is week 2, we don't see teams' true identities until around week 5. But I mean, they keep this up, they might be for real. Now for the ever so coveted choke of the week. Wise, who do you got?
Oh man, quite a few candidates for this. You might throw in Flip Chargers in this one as well. I'll give it to the Chiefs just because of how that last series went. I just don't understand the concept of running the ball or trying to play for the field goal when you can just as well easily score a touchdown. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. I don't know if they were just worried about giving the Ravens the ball back with any sort of time. I just felt like the Chiefs completely mishandled that last series and should have won that game. And granted, you're not going to predict the fumble from your running back going into the last drive, but you got to stick with what's working. And they were throwing at will against the Ravens the entire game. And at the same point, when the game is on the line, put the ball in your best player's hands, and Mahomes arguably is the best player in the NFL. So keep the ball in his hands, and let him get you the W. So I'm gonna put the Chiefs in there as my choke of the week.
All right. Flip, what about you? Choke of the week for last week.
I'm gonna go ahead and say probably. I kind of want to go with the Saints here. Just because after that domination they had on the Packers, I was not expecting them to get manhandled by the Panthers.
Yeah.
Not like this. This was just terrible. When I saw the score, I was confused.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on over there? Because you don't handle Aaron Rodgers the way you do and then let Sam Darnold just put up 26 on you. It doesn't make sense. So I got to give it to the Saints. Choke of the week for me.
Definitely. All right, fellas. Week 3. Let's get cracking. We got our Thursday night game. We've got the Houston Texans going up against the Houston Texans going up against the Panthers. Now, this is kind of a weird left field, unorthodox kind of game because the Panthers, like I said, they just walked the dog on the Saints, who everybody's saying is the Saints is could be one of the top 10 teams this year, and the thing is we don't even know if Tyrod's going to play on Thursday because as much as I hate, as talented as he is, as athletic as strong of an arm as he got, he's made of glass, and that's going to really haunt him. But the Panthers, they look pretty damn good. They look very good against a division rival. And the thing is, with the way that the Texans lost last week, the thing is they're coming to this game kind of crippled, and it's not going to be a good look for them. So going ahead and give me the Panthers in this game, 31-20 over the Texans. All right, Wise, who you got? Who you got, the Panthers or you got the Texans?
Yeah, I throw out for the Panthers in this game. I'm not sure of I'm not sure of Tyrod's status, whether or not he's going to be in. You know, actually, looks like I think they have him on IR actually. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you know, and again, the Texans were kind of a surprise team after week 1. They kind of hung in there a little bit with the Browns, obviously, but they lost Tyrod, so they lost Tyrod during that game.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, who's to say if Tyrod played this full game, he might have kept it closer and even won that game against Cleveland.
Right.
This team definitely is surprisingly, I mean the Panthers again, they've looked good these last couple of weeks. Darnold, granted, they had a good win against the Saints. They didn't really, they beat the Jets week 1. The Houston's also not really like a juggernaut team, so even if Panthers win this game, go 3-0, you could still argue the Panthers are kind of like a shaky. You still argue that the Panthers might not be a for real legit team, just because Sam Darnold has maybe that New York Jet stink on him, but maybe he's had to get out of New York to kind of showcase his talent,
right?
And also get some better weapons, i.e. McCaffrey. So yeah, even though this is in Houston right now, this is Houston going with the quarterback. I think Mills not having Taylor. I'm gonna have to lean on Carolina to win this game. Give me Carolina. I'll think Carolina wins this 27-17.
All right, Flip. Who you got? Panthers, Texans.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Wells here. If Tyrod was playing, I would probably maybe go with the Texans here, but the Panthers are. I mean, after you beat the Saints like that, you have a 2-0 start. Sam Darnold's looking pretty solid. I mean, the defense held the Saints to 7 points, so I think they can handle a third-string quarterback on the Texans with less weapons. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout. I doubt it, because these games seem kind of like trap games to me. But I still have the Panthers winning. I just can't see the Texans pulling off an upset win here, which they might. Who knows? It's not like Sam Darnold is like quarterback Jesus and he's guaranteed to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just gotta go with the Panthers here. I don't even know who the third or the quarterback for the Texans is at this point.
He's making his first start.
His first start ever? Oh, okay. I gotta go with the Panthers here. I mean, they might not have tape on him, and he might get a surprise, touchdown or 2 on him. So I'll say Panthers win 23-14.
All right. Next up, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, for the better part of the last 5 years, the Steelers have had the Bengals number minus maybe one loss. I think that was like last year in an away game. But Big Ben is actually a question mark to play this week, which means Haskins will be the next man up. And I feel like the Steelers got too much talent on both sides of the ball to really even lose convincingly against the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'm not saying that the Bengals are not a good team. I mean, the thing is, it's just that they still have room to grow and room to improve. And the thing is, I like Joe Burrow. I really do. But they need to get that man some more weapons. Well, the thing is, the first thing they do is need to get his ass some protection first so he doesn't get his ass killed. So there's always that. And the Bengals defense is the Bengals defense, even though they were a shell of their former self. Now, the Steelers, a hell of a lot of firepower, a damn good running back, and their defense is top-notch. But the thing is, the defense is kind of hurting a little bit. TJ is a question mark. Stephon Tuitt, they don't know if he's probably not coming back to like week 4, week 5. Joe Hayden, he's a question mark. I mean, so we really don't know. And based off of that, I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people give it credit for. But go ahead and give me the Steelers. And like I said, you can also attribute this to the Steelers' slow starts. So go ahead and give me the Steelers in this game, 23-20 over the Bengals. All right, Waz, who you got? Steelers, Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going to lean the Steelers in this case just because even with some of those question marks on your defense, I don't think still don't think that O-line is steady enough for Cincinnati to let Burrow do his thing. Nor are the weapons quite there yet for the Bengals. I think the key, obviously, to not. I think it's going to be big for you guys to get Harris going and just not let whether it's Roethlisberger and especially even Haskins. If you have Haskins, then I wouldn't want Haskins throwing it more than like 20 times, 25 times. But I think it's key to let your run game get going, even against Cincinnati, because if you have Haskins in there and he stinks up the joint, Cincinnati can sneak one. Cincinnati snuck one on week 1.
Yeah,
they could very well do that against the Steelers. If y'all have turnovers, let the turnovers get ahead of you. So
right.
I think Tomlin is gonna come up with a good game plan. Against the Bengals. But I think the key is to get Harris going. Do not lean on the pass. Do not lean on the pass at all whatsoever. Right now, especially Roethlisberger dealing with his injury, they should be able to pull this away. So if the Steelers win this, possibly slugfest like those AFC North games can get sometimes. Give me Steelers win this 17-13.
All right. Flip, who you got? Steelers, Bengals.
I usually would just go with the Steelers on this one, but I don't think Ben is gonna miss the game. I think he's gonna be out there to play. My issue is TJ Watt gonna be out there?
Oof.
Because if there's no TJ Watt out there, then I feel like this Bengals O-line might be able to keep Burrow up enough for him to be a factor in this game. And just thinking about his weapons, I mean, he's got Mixon, he's got T. Higgins, he's got Jamar Chase. Defense it's not amazing, but
yeah.
I mean, if they ended up in a shootout, then it's going to be a toss-up here because, we're talking about a Ben Roethlisberger who's not, in the prime of his life anymore.
Right.
He could be bested by a Joe Burrow who's looking like he's on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
I think it depends on how healthy TJ Watt is.
Right.
If TJ Watt was out there and he was healthy and good to go, I'm putting Steelers all day. But with an injured TJ Watt, I might make this my upset of the week. I might go with the Bengals here.
Oh.
I want to say Bengals win 27-24 over Steelers.
All right. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills going up against Washington. Oh boy. This game is a little bit tricky for me, especially because the way Taylor Heineke showed some flashes last week. But and thing is, let's be real. Taylor Heineke is nowhere near the level of let me slip my mind, but you guys know what I'm talking near Josh Allen. He's nowhere near his level, at least not yet, and I don't think he ever will be. But yeah. Washington, they've got the defense. They do have that. But then again, so do the Bills. And on top of the Bills having a defense, they've got some firepower on offense too. And they better. The thing is, the key to victory for Washington is that they got to put Josh Allen on his behind. They have to have at least 4 sacks in this game. And they have to not let the running game go over 50 yards this game. They do that, they contain the offense, then they got a chance. If they can't win if they don't score. They pretty much better reducing the field goals every single play. Now, the key to victory for the Buffalo Bills is they just need to beat themselves. That's pretty much all it is. And like I said, I'm not discrediting Washington, but it's just that you have an okay defense and a spectacular offense against a team that's very well rounded. You got to be clicking on all cylinders if you want to win. So with that in mind, going ahead and give me Buffalo in this game, 28-21 over Washington. All right, Waz, who you got, Washington or Buffalo?
Yeah, I go with Buffalo, and in the meantime, Buffalo's got still one of the top defenses in the league right now. They're second right now. They're only 2 games in, but second right now, only giving up about 234 yards a game. defensively, they got great weapons. So we just watched this Washington team give up 29 to the Giants.
Yeah.
Giants offense, Danny Dimes. I can't imagine, Buffalo not being able to put up points or move the ball against this team. This game is in Buffalo. I'm gonna, and then you gotta, you have a team playing in Buffalo right there. A team, especially for the fans, they're hungry for a win after that loss. To the Steelers. Give me Buffalo all day in this. I trust again Josh Allen more than Heineke at this point, although Heineke's shown flashes. I think Buffalo will continue to get it going with Singletary. They will get a touchdown, I'm sure. Give me Buffalo in this big victory. I'm going to say 34 to 21.
All right, Flip, who you got? Buffalo, Washington.
This one, I think Daniel Jones is the reason why I'm basically going Buffalo here 100%. I like what Taylor Heineke did. I think the Washington defense is solid. It could have been like an upset game or maybe something near a close game for Washington. But after seeing Daniel Jones basically run all over this team, I can't imagine what Josh Allen would do.
Oh, God.
I think Daniel Jones had like a 50 or 60-yard touchdown run that got called back.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is going to destroy the team. Even the pass rush for Washington has been a little suspect lately. I haven't seen Chase Young do much against some O-lines. He got pancaked last week against the Giants. I don't know. I just can't trust Washington to win this with Taylor Heineke at quarterback and their defense not, being some dominant force that we expect it to be. Give me Buffalo here. I'm going to say 31-20.
All right. Next up, we got the Cleveland Browns going up against the Chicago Bears. Now, this would be like a classic throwback kind of matchup, especially if both these teams' defenses were, what they were back then. But the Bears are kind of still building the team and still trying to find out who they are, and with the rookie quarterback in hand too. Like I said, the defense is still kind of decent, but going up against a Browns team that's more than capable. So the thing is, the Browns got a lot of weapons, and the defense is pretty damn good too. But what's going to be the key to victory for the Chicago Bears? They are going to need to. The thing is, it's going to come down to coaching for them. They have to have very, very good clock management. They got to ride the clock, and they have to score slow. That's what they have to do. Keep the ball out of Baker's hands as long as possible. And if they can do that, and they slow down the run game too, then they got a shot. The Browns' keys to victory. Basically, they just have to run the ball down their throats. They have to eat up the clock. So, and I think the thing is, with all the weapons they got, that's pretty much a give and go for them. Going ahead and give me Cleveland in this game, 31-17 over the Bears. All right, Waz, who you got? Bears, Browns.
Yeah, so looks like Dalton's out. Justin Fields is going to be making his first start.
Yeah.
So again, whether Dalton was in or not, it doesn't really change my overall pick. I'm still picking Cleveland in this game. Again, Cleveland, it has been a perennial kind of semi-contender the last year and a half or so. And I think last week they kind of righted the ship. Baker only threw it about 21 times in that game. They were leaning heavy on the run with Hunt and Chubb. And I think that's what they're going to do in this game with Landry being out, especially. I don't know quite yet if Odell is going to be a go for this game or not. But if Odell's still not back and Landry's out, I just can't see Cleveland not running the ball at least 30 plus times in this game.
No.
Especially when you got two great running backs. They won't need to do much because I don't think Justin Fields is quite ready yet. He's showing some flashes in his action. But when Dalton went out, the team still wasn't right when Fields came in to fill in for Dalton in that game last week. And I stress give me Cleveland in this game. Again, it might not be like a big blowout because, again, I think Cleveland's going to really be focusing on the run. Cleveland might win by a score. But I think they'll still have great time of possession in terms of how much they're going to be holding the ball the entire game. Give me Cleveland in this. I'll say Cleveland wins 23, Bears 13.
All righty. All right, Flip, who you got? Bears, Browns.
Man, the Justin Fields show in Chicago. This is going to be an interesting game, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a ton of tape on him, so we'll have to see how they work against him. But I don't know, man. I want to go Browns here, but something is telling me that Justin Fields isn't going to get it done on just throwing the ball, but he's just going to run all over this Browns team and catch him off guard. And something's telling me that this Bears team is just, it's the Bears defense. They're imposing. We'll see Khalil Mack make Baker Mayfield, he'll hurt a bit. This Browns team isn't the greatest in the passing game. The run game against the Bears is a little tricky. Man, I might have to do 2 upsets this week.
Oh.
You know what? I'm going 2 upsets this week. I'm going with the Bears. I think Justin Fields surprises us this week. I don't think he's going to do much in the passing game against this secondary, because the Browns secondary is great. But I think that the Bears defense is going to do enough to keep this game close, and we might see, like a field goal win for the Bears. So I want to say the Bears win 23-20 over the Browns.
Oh, all right. Keeping it close.
Wow.
All right.
Crazy.
Yeah. We'll see. All right, next up, we got the Baltimore Ravens going up against the Detroit Lions. Now, Jared Goff with the Lions right now it's looking like that was a bad choice. It looks like it's not a great fit, despite the weapons that he might have. The thing is, the Lions' defense is like wet tissue paper now anyway, so it doesn't matter how many points they score. Baltimore, the thing is, they in all actuality could be good. They probably could and should have been going to this game 0-2 right now. This probably could have been their first win. But they pulled it out against a possible Super Bowl contender. And I'm gonna give them all the credit in the world for that. And it's just that we know what they're capable of. And the thing is, I feel like the blueprint has been laid on how to beat the Ravens. Like I said, all you gotta do just you pretty much just have to force Lamar to play quarterback. And the thing is, everybody's calling him a glorified running back with an arm because, he's going to be turning into Jameis Winston 2.0. He's a turnover machine. Well, the thing is, he could be a turnover machine if he's not disciplined enough, which we've seen that. Because if you force him to rely on his athleticism alone, that makes his game more predictable. But that only means that the Ravens defense is going to have to step up where the offense falls back. Like I said, the Lions haven't really shown me that much. And like I said, but the thing is, they need this win. If they ever needed to win, it'll be this one. But I just don't think they're going to get it. So going ahead and give me the Ravens in this game 28-14 over the Lions. All right, Waz, who you got? Ravens, Lions.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Ravens in this game. The Lions seem to be only good for about a quarter of football a game.
Yeah.
Like one quarter during a game, the Lions look competitive, can look good. They looked great against the Niners in the late third, fourth quarter of that game, and against the Packers, they looked good for about a quarter and roughly a half in that first half before the Packers just manhandled them. But yeah, no, I'm not sure what to make of this Lions team. Goff's not playing really too bad. He's just not doing enough to put them over. He's just not a big enough. He was kind of when that trade with Stafford happened. It was basically it felt like the Lions weren't really improving. They might have been staying about the same level, if not slight decrease. And I'm not sure there's not too many bright spots on this Lions team outside of maybe their tight end. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say that I think the Ravens are gonna kind of run away with this literally. The best rushing Detroit can really kind of hurt them. So yeah, give me the Ravens in this game pretty handily. I'll say Ravens win this game 31-17.
All righty. All right, Flip, who you got? Ravens, Lions.
I gotta go Ravens here. I like the Lions' offense actually, surprisingly enough this year. They need more receivers clearly, but Goff and TJ Hawkinson has been getting it done. The run game is actually pretty solid. I don't know what I thought it was just the 49ers game, but it did it against the Packers too. They've been opening some huge holes against these defenses. And these runs have been they've been pretty entertaining because I don't know, the Lions online is just they're doing their thing, I guess. I don't know, but I think the downside to the Lions is that their secondary is just hurting really badly with the loss of Okuda and a couple other guys. They're real weak in their DBs. And Jared Goff just doesn't have a lot of weapons to throw to. He's got TJ Hawkinson basically, and DeAndre Swift sometimes. So I think that's going to hurt them. He's not a runner like Lamar, so we're not going to see him doing any play action runs and RPOs. So I think just based off the fact that the Lions defense can be ate alive by Lamar in this game. It's not like he's going to have trouble against these DBs. And he's going to run all over this team. I got to go with the Ravens here. I want to say the Ravens win 33-24.
All right.
That sounds all right.
Yeah. All right, next up, AFC South Divisional matchup. We got the Indianapolis Colts going up against the Tennessee Titans. Now, a lot of people say that the Titans have kind of looked shaky, especially since they got a whooping from the Arizona Cardinals in the season opener. But the thing is, you can't hold that against them forever, especially with what the Titans actually bring to the table. Now, the Colts, Carson Wentz is doing okay, but the thing is, as much as I hate to say it, Carson Wentz is not going to live up to Colts. Carson Wentz isn't going to live up to Eagles Carson Wentz. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen because Eagles Carson Wentz had a hell of a lot more weapons and he had a better O-line to block for him. Sorry, Quentin Nelson, but yeah. Anywho, but yeah, Tennessee. This actually kind of could be a statement win for Tennessee, despite the fact that the Colts have an 0-2 record. Could they steal this game? Probably. Are they going to? I doubt it. I'm not gonna hold my breath. And the thing is, I think as of right now, the Titans are favored by 7 points over them, but that could very well change game day. But the safe bet is to pick the Titans, and I'm gonna do that. Go on ahead and give me the Titans in this game, 27-20 over the Colts. All right, Flip, who you got? Wise, who you got? Titans, Colts.
Yeah, I got the Titans in this game. I'm not even sure if Wentz might be a go yet. I think he's still dealing with an injury. Looks like he didn't practice Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And the Titans are coming off a pretty big victory, in Seattle. And Derrick Henry just looked like a freaking monster in that game. And I don't really specifically see the Colts putting a stop or hurt on Derrick Henry. Tannehill is kind of yet to really showcase or really take advantage of his weapons and have a big game. Mm-hmm. With Julio and everything like that. So this might be a case where they can kind of break one open. We saw what Seattle did to Indianapolis week 1. I think Tennessee can kind of maybe duplicate that. I think Tannehill maybe gets going and gets some confidence in this game, especially at home. Give me Tennessee in this. I'll say Tennessee wins this game 27-13.
All right, Flip, who you got? Colts, Titans.
Yeah, I like what the Colts have been doing. I think they just get off to slow starts. Jonathan Taylor hasn't been the best running, or he hasn't had the best running games this year so far. But looking at this Titans team, they've had some tough matchups. They had a terrible start against the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. Then it's like you go up against the Seahawks, which, I mean, the whole NFC West is just a juggernaut at this point. So, I mean, putting them up against those two guys to start the year off, they're probably going to look a little underwhelming. But against the Colts, who the Rams just kind of lit up with Cooper Kupp, and, I mean, Darrell Henderson looked pretty good up there until he got hurt. But I think if Darrell Henderson can do that against the Colts, Derrick Henry is about to have another 180-yard game. A.J. Brown and Julio Jones are going to eat. And Carson Wentz is still recovering from Aaron Donald spraining both of his ankles in one play. I don't think the Colts are healthy enough or even talented enough to keep up with this Titans team right now. I think the first 2 weeks have kind of given us a questionable opinion about the Titans, but they should come out here and handle the Colts. So I want to say Titans 28, Colts 20.
All right. Next game. We got potential game of the week, and this is an AFC West matchup. You got the LA Chargers going up against the Kansas City Chiefs at home. Now, both of these teams lost in humiliating fashion. One choked, and the other, you could argue, got robbed. But yeah, both of these teams are going to be on the warpath. The thing is, I haven't seen any weakness. I mean, despite both of these teams' losses, I haven't really seen any real weaknesses in their game. And like I said, normally tests like this for both teams don't come until like later on in the season. But I believe this is going to be a real test. And it's probably going to be, the thing is, we know the Chiefs' identity. We know who they really are. But whether it's a close game or whether the Chargers pull out a surprise victory, this is going to tell us a lot about who the Chargers really are. Oh man, a part of me kind of wants to go with the upset of this because I don't know if they're still off balance from the loss against the Ravens. But man, do I want to do it? I don't know. Nah, I'm gonna play it safe. Go on ahead and give me the Chiefs in this game 27-24 over the Chargers. Waz, who you got? Chiefs, Chargers.
This is an interesting game. I think this could be a special game of the week. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers haven't lost on the road. Chiefs haven't lost at home. One of these things is going to change.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers have a pretty good pass defense, and I was impressed with how they kind of handled Dallas a little bit. And I think it's possible it might maybe they can kind of take a look. I know that obviously the Ravens gave up a lot of points in the pass game, but I was impressed with how the Ravens kind of shut down Tyreek a bit. And if it wasn't for some missed tackles, obviously on some big plays like with Kelsey and everything, the score might have been a little bit lower on the Chiefs. So I think it's possible the Chargers can kind of keep that in check. I'm for some reason I'm leaning the Chargers in this game.
Yeah,
I think that the Chargers can get run. You can run on them, but the Chiefs they haven't really shown or established that they can really run the ball well.
Yeah.
And I think obviously the Chargers can run well enough, with Eckler on the Chiefs. Chiefs, you can run really well over the Chiefs. I think they should. I think the Chargers need to focus heavy on that. Whether or not they do is one thing, but I think if Herbert and him and Eckler just on a few bootlegs and whatnot, this game could swing their way. And for some reason, I'm just feeling like this is an upset right now. I know the Chiefs are favored in this game. I'm not sure. It looks like they're favored. They're favored almost by a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think you would at least take the points if you're betting on this gambling wise. I don't think the Chiefs beat them by a full touchdown. And again, I think the Chargers could win this game outright. I think, especially after that devastating loss, I'm not sure what's gonna. Sometimes you expect a team to bounce back, but sometimes those losses can kind of put you in a funk for a little bit.
Yeah,
and we might see another loss, and I can definitely see a whole ESPN, Fox Sports one talk about what's wrong with the Chiefs for another week. Give me the Chargers in this in an upset. I'm going to say the Chargers win this game 24-20. curious to see what Flip's thoughts on that are.
Yeah. All right, Flip. Who you got? Chiefs, Chargers.
Man, I think the thing that's kind of interesting to me is that it's week 3. It's the Chiefs versus Chargers, and we haven't lost any super important pieces on our team. The downside is we don't have Bulaga. I don't think we're getting him back this week. I think he's on IR. So that's the thing that's scaring me, because just watching the Cowboys game, that side of the O-line was getting destroyed.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a great sight to see, because on our other side we have Slater, and our rookie O-lineman, and he is handling his side great. But man, I kind of want to go to the Chargers here. Like Waz was saying, you can run on the Chargers, which is what the Cowboys did. Zeke ran on us. Antonio Gibson ran on us. But you don't see the Chiefs use Edwards-Helaire as like a bell cow. He's just kind of in there just to kind of give relief and to kind of change the pace. And so when I see that, I'm thinking to myself, man, if the Ravens basically game planned and showed the formula to block up Tyree, then I mean this team is really beatable now.
Yeah.
And oh man, you know what? I gotta go with it. I'm gonna say the Chargers win this game. I think it's gonna be close. As of course, you never really destroy the Chiefs unless you just catch them off guard or something.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say Chargers 33, Chiefs 30.
All right. Next up, we got the New Orleans Saints going up against the New England Patriots. Now the Patriots are just now starting to find their identity, even though the thing is they got potential to be a top team again, but it's just that they need, their secondary on defense to gel, and Mac Jones needs a little bit more time to get comfortable. We know what the Saints are, and we know what they can do. The thing is, I actually think people should give Taysom Hill his flowers. They need to give him some credit as possibly a legitimate quarterback. Now, the thing is, of course, he's going to do his little read option plays by design. He can throw the ball, but he needs to work a little bit more accuracy. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but Alvin Kamara, he really, I don't know if it's, the fact that he didn't really play that much in the preseason, or I think that, he needs to do a little better job warming up, because he can run all over the Patriots defense. I know the Patriots are favored to win this one, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this one to the Saints. I mean, even though the Saints are on the road. Going ahead and give me the Saints in this game, 28-26 over the Patriots. All right, Wallace, who you got? Saints, Patriots.
I'm going to have to go with the Patriots. I can't imagine. I can't see Winston excelling or doing well against the Bill Belichick defense, especially in New England. Granted, this isn't like a cold, this isn't like an extreme cold weather game. Saints are catching New England at the right time of the year.
Right.
Don't have to worry about the conditions. Being a dome team. But Mac Jones thus far has looked pretty competent, solid. I like the running back Harris. I think they're doing well with him. I don't think the Patriots will have to do too much right now in this game. It's weird. We've seen the Jekyll and Hyde. Through 2 weeks, we've seen the Saints Jekyll and we've seen the Saints Hyde.
Yeah.
So we don't know. I'm still curious to see what this team's going to do, because they laid a stinker. They laid a stinker on the road against the Panthers, but the previous week they looked demolishing against the Packers. So I think this will be maybe a potential test. The Patriots are a solid team. I think, and again, I think I'm leaning heavily toward Bill Belichick scheming against Winston, and I can see Winston having a pretty poor performance in this game. But looking forward to maybe being proven wrong. We'll see. I can't really figure this Saints team out. But I'm kind of confident in the Patriots. At least the Patriots have looked pretty solid at least through 2 weeks. They've been in both games. So give me New England in this. It'll be a close game. I'll say New England wins this game, 23-20.
All right. Flip. Who you got? Saints, Patriots.
Man, I think I'm going to go with the Patriots, or not the Patriots. I'm going to go with the Saints here. Like Waz said, and Waz made great points, Belichick, he can definitely game plan against Jameis. His schemes against Jameis should work pretty well. I just think that the issue here is he struggled, the Patriots struggled to kind of close out against the Miami team, which they lost to. And this Jets team is just atrocious. If you've seen any tape from last week, their O line was terrible. They two of the O linemen were just kind of standing there. Another O lineman was guarding his own lineman. They were just letting in linebackers free against Zach Wilson. The man was thrown into tight coverages. It was just a mess. So I can't give it to the Patriots off of that performance. I'm kind of judging it off of the game in Miami, and from what I saw, I don't know. I feel like Jameis should be good enough to get it done, and like you said, if Kamara can come in and heat up from the start instead of needing to kind of get a quarter or two under his belt, I see the Saints just beating this team because Mac Jones, I don't think he's there yet. So give me the Saints in this game. I'm gonna say 23-17 over the Patriots.
Alrighty. Next up, I don't know if you guys are ready to call this a tank bowl or not, but you got the Atlanta Falcons going on the road against the New York Giants. Now, despite the fact that the Giants lost to Washington last week, they looked pretty damn good. I mean, especially with Daniel Jones. But thing is now, even though the Falcons defense is a shell of what it once was, they're gonna have somebody spying Daniel Jones for him to run. Now you could argue it's like, well, Daniel Jones isn't really he's not a running QB by design. A lot of times he's running for his life. That's true, but if that is true, why the hell is he scrambling for 60 yards? If you're a traditional in the pocket kind of quarterback, you're not supposed to be running. You're not supposed to be getting those kind of yards, especially on a team like Washington with their defense. So that should tell you a lot. And the Falcons, oh my God, the Falcons are so underwhelming this year. It's not even funny. And I don't. And the thing is, the thing is, Matt Ryan's not even playing like himself. They don't have Julio. They don't have Sanu anymore, and the defense is laughable. So
Kyle Pittsburgh again.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, God. And the thing is, it really is sad because, like I said, I know what they can do. I know what the Falcons can do, but it's just that they might be in tank territory this year. But we'll see. Like, go on ahead and give me the Giants in this game. Give me the Giants with their first win, 27-23 over the Falcons. All right, boys, who you got? Falcons, Giants.
Yeah, this is a really crappy game. And I'll go with you. I'll lean with you on this. I think the Giants, because the Giants have shown something through 2 weeks, whereas the Falcons have shown nothing through 2 weeks. The Falcons seem to be a really pitiful team. I don't know what it is. I was really big on the tight end selection. I thought that would probably be a great addition to the team, but they can't seem to get him going because Matt Ryan is just not a good quarterback anymore.
Yeah.
He can't be trusted. He's kind of again on that stage where he's got maybe another year or two before he probably should call it quits.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. I didn't realize that Daniel Jones is the leading rusher right now for New York.
Yeah. Over Saquon.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Over Saquon. I know Saquon looks like he's injured, but still, that is impressive. But yeah, I got the Giants in this game. Again, this is solely based on the fact that I've seen some life out of New York versus Atlanta. We've seen nothing. I have nothing to believe in, and that defense is pretty atrocious. So I mean, New York did put up some points against Washington.
Yeah,
could very well put up a good chunk against Atlanta. So give me New York in this game. New York's at home as well, I believe. So yeah, give me New York in this game. I'll say New York wins this game 30-17.
All right. Flip, who you got? Giants, Falcons.
Yeah, like what I said, this Falcons team is they've shown no life. Matt Ryan, I guess losing Julio really affected him a lot more than we thought it would, because I thought Calvin Ridley and Gage would, kind of step in there and become the 1-2 punch for him. But the Falcons haven't looked the same since Shanahan left.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say. They brought in the Titans' old offensive coordinator. He hasn't been able to get it done for him. This team is just a mess at this point. This might be Matt Ryan's last year at this rate, because this team has taken a huge hit. They have spiked all the way down since that Super Bowl run, and there's no sign of them coming back and being that Falcons of old. So, nothing on that team seems like it. I mean, they probably could keep up with the Giants. I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout or anything. I think it's going to be a close game still, just because the Giants are known to just let teams back in for some odd reason. So I'm gonna give it to the Giants still, but I'm gonna say it'll be close. I'm gonna say Giants win 24-20 here.
All right. All right. Next up, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I know that Sunshine is the Jags quarterback. I know he's got a hell of an arm from it, but I expect nothing less than pure and utter domination on the part of the Arizona Cardinals. Look at all the weapons they got, and the defense for the Jags. They're not Saxonville anymore. Like, the thing, and their secondary could end up getting shredded. Look at all the options that Kyler Murray has, and when he doesn't have any options to throw to, he can run. What are the Jacksonville Jaguars supposed to do against that? Their only hope is to keep the ball out of Kyler Murray's hands as much as possible. And even that's not going to work, because the defense, Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt can eat him alive. What possible chance? I ain't gonna say they don't have zero chance, but I will say they have like a 1.9% chance of winning this game. But then again, it's a home game, so you never really know. This could be one of the potential. The thing is, it could be a potential trap game, but come on, I'm not gonna hold my breath. I say Arizona wins this game convincingly, 28-7 over the Jags. Waz, who you got? Jags, Cardinals.
This is for some reason I think this might be a low key trap game for Arizona.
Oh man.
The last 2 weeks for Arizona, have been very solid. Like they had a heart, like a crazy game against Minnesota. But again, Murray's looked extremely well. And again, Chandler Jones, like I said, Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt. Trevor Lawrence is his head's gonna be on a swivel in that game. But again, like I said, Arizona's got incredible weapons. They have they might have one of the best wide receiver corps in the league, to be honest.
Yeah.
With Moore and Hopkins when he's healthy, and then AJ Green. Even AJ Green, even at this point with AJ Green's career, but still. So, and again, Murray's playing extremely well. But the only thing I don't like about Arizona is the coaching. I don't like the coaching whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't trust it. But in this case, it's again, even in Jacksonville, it might not even be needed for the most part. I mean, Kingsbury might as well just you can tell Kyler Murray essentially just draw up whatever plays you want to do in the dirt. I'll be on the sideline needing for some water, but that's about it. So give me Arizona in this game. But for some reason, I want to remember this for next week that I have this weird feeling that Jacksonville's going to sneak some, but I can't pick them. I'm going to pick Arizona, but next week if we talk about choke of the week in Arizona, I'm surprised. Let's just remember that. But I'm gonna on paper I'm gonna say Arizona wins this game. I'll say Arizona wins this game 20-10, but I'm just saying choke of the week potential here.
All right. Flip, who you got? Cardinals, Jags.
I'm going to go ahead and trust Waz's premonition here and go with the Jags.
Wow.
No, definitely not. This Jags team is not it, man. The coaching staff isn't it. The O-line isn't it. Just the whole team isn't it. The defense isn't it. I want to give Trevor Lawrence the benefit of the doubt because the man is going in there and starting off his rookie season with just nothing to really work with here. But man, if the Jacksonville Jags beat the Cardinals this week, I will be utterly shocked. This might be the most shocking thing I'll see in maybe the last year or two. So I don't see it. Even off of paper, I don't see it. It's just, man. No, I just can't see it. I could never pick them for the upset. I already picked 2 upsets. I'm not going with a third, and if I do, it's definitely not the Jags. Give me the Cardinals in this. I'll say 31-16.
All right. Next up, we got the Miami Dolphins going on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders. I got to get used to saying Las Vegas. Now, Vegas put a whooping. Well, I wouldn't say they put a whooping, but I will just say that they beat my team pretty clearly. Well, pretty convincingly. As in, they didn't let their foot off the gas, despite them getting damn near shut out. But thing is, the defense in the first half was a hell of a lot better than the second half for the Steelers, but that's a whole other story. We talked about that already. And the Dolphins are 1-1. The thing is, they're solid, but thing is, it all depends on what their quarterback situation is going to look like, because the defense is okay, the running game's okay, special teams and coaching, all that is okay. But is that going to be enough to stop the Raiders at home? I'm afraid to say this, but I don't think so. And like I said, people are questioning. I mean, the thing is, the Raiders are undefeated right now, but a lot of people are questioning their legitimacy. I mean, how real are they going to be going down the stretch? But this is going to be another one of those humps that we see. Go ahead and give me the Raiders in this game, 28-17 over the Dolphins. All right, Waz, who you got? Raiders, Dolphins.
Yeah, I know last week I said I was a little bit unaware, or a little bit like I needed to see a little bit more from the Raiders after week 2, before I kind of start feeling a little bit more comfortable with that team. And you know, they had a solid victory against Steelers, and here we are now, week 3. They're undefeated. Derek Carr looked incredible, looked really well through 2 weeks, throwing for a lot of yards. That offense looks great. And now we're coming up against a Dolphins team that's only scored 17 points in 2 weeks, and it's just lost their starting quarterback. Now they're going to Jacoby Brissett. So yeah, man, I right now the Raiders, they got to be feeling pretty confident playing at home, and that offense clicking pretty well right now. I don't see the Dolphins defense being able to keep them at bay. And the Raiders again, they haven't even really gotten they haven't even gotten the running game going yet. Josh Jacobs, I'm not sure if he's going to be quite back ready for this game, but they might not need him. But once they get him back and going, this Raiders offense, this Raiders team in general, they're pretty frisky. But for this game, I think they'll win this pretty handily against the Dolphins. I'm going to say the Raiders win this game. We'll say Raiders win this game 28-17.
All right. Flip, who you got? Dolphins, Raiders.
Dolphins, Raiders. I got to go Raiders here.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins, like Waz was saying, they don't have 2 anymore. And I think that's the biggest hit here. This could be a trap game, but I'm gonna bet on that.
Yeah, I would.
I'm just gonna go Raiders here. I mean, I think the Raiders are just running on momentum. I think they're healthy. I think their offense is clicking. I think Derek Carr is probably gonna have one of his best years. If he can keep this up. Yeah, I gotta go with the Raiders here. I'm gonna say Raiders 28, Dolphins 17.
All righty. Next up, we got another potential game of the week. We got the Tampa Bay Bucks going on the road against the LA Rams. Now the Rams are undefeated, as are the Bucks. Somebody's O has got to go. Now, despite the fact that the Bucks are undefeated, they have shown that they are capable of getting smacked in the mouth and keeping close games. I mean, even though they looked pretty convincing in the last game, but come on, we know who it was against. Anyway, and the Rams, like I said, the Rams, they look damn good. The thing is, the Rams, they got the potential to put you away early. And one thing that the Bucks have done recently that I don't like is if they let you, the thing is they don't want to let you hang around. And the thing is if they let a team like the Rams hang around, the Rams can really hurt them. I don't care if they do got Tom Brady at the helm. And the thing is, they say AB, he's on the COVID list, so he's not playing. But they still got other weapons like Gronk that they can throw to. They got a decent running game. And the thing is, I believe that the running situation for the Rams is better. And of course, you got Aaron Donald out there who can probably feast. But the thing is, I just don't think that they're going to be able to recreate that Super Bowl victory magic. So going ahead and give me the Rams this game, 28, 28-26 over the Bucks. All right, why? So you got Rams Bucks.
This is a game of weak potential right
Definitely.
here. I'm really looking forward to it. Both undefeated teams. Rams look pretty good. Stafford looked pretty solid. Cubs look like one of the best receivers in the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Stafford really have a connection going right now. Defensively, we know what the Rams can do. They got a great defensive line. Obviously, they got the cornerback. So it'll be very interesting to see how the Bucks can handle and take this. Again, I don't think the Bucks' run game is quite there yet to kind of keep the Rams defense kind of guessing. I think the Bucks still kind of focus heavily on the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of hurts them in this case. I think they would need to get Fournette going, Jones going, in order to keep that Rams defense guessing and not having to worry just about focusing on the pass game. With having a bunch of defensive backs in the secondary to kind of keep Brady kind of going or guessing as well. But it's hard to go against this Bucks team because the offense looks so great. Even with as solid as the Rams have looked, the Bucks have looked incredible through 2 weeks. Brady's thrown 9 touchdowns. Through 2 weeks, he's looked even for some reason Brady's looked even better than he's looked ever. Brady's had the most weapons he's ever had in his life on this Bucks team. But I can see your Rams pick. The Rams have looked. I think the Rams at this point are a little bit more complete. And I think this game is in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Aaron Donald putting some pressure on Brady. And Brady having some happy feet. I'm gonna go with the Rams in this game. I think that's considered an upset. At this point, Los Angeles is slightly favored. No, actually, Bucks are slightly favored, but it's not really an upset, I guess. It's only by 1.5 points. I'm going to say Rams win this game. I'll say Rams win this 24-21.
All right. Flip, who you got? Rams, Bucks.
Man. This is going to be interesting. I think no AB. If AB plays, they have an extra piece on that team that they're definitely going to need.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to go with the Rams here. I feel like this is one of those games where we see the Bucks get exposed or something.
Yeah.
Or they don't come out the gate swinging like they have the first 2 weeks. The Rams, I mean, they're just clicking on all cylinders. This Bucks secondary is already in shambles, so I don't see them stopping Matt Stafford. The run game for the Rams is there already. They've got their bell cow and Henderson, and even if they don't, Sony Michel is a reasonable backup.
Yes.
For this game. Like what I was saying, the Bucks run game isn't there, and you have to keep them guessing because you can't let Aaron Donald just keep pass rushing on you. Because even if he doesn't get a sack, he's
Yeah.
So
They need to double
Tom
team. That
Brady's
O-line
not
will have to
running
double team him.
quarterback. If he's exactly, so it's like Tom Brady is not running out of that pocket. Tom Brady, he's going to be coming up and out of the pocket, just hoping that to God that Aaron Donald isn't, right there, ready to take his head off. So, yeah, I got to go with the Rams here. Give me the Rams in this game, 28-24 over the Bucks.
All righty. Next up, a sleeper game. But thing is, this game's had a lot of potential. We got the Seattle Seahawks going on the road against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, don't let that winless record fool you from the Vikings. The Vikings, they've got some pieces. I mean, the thing is, I know a lot of people don't believe in Kirk Cousins. Well, they don't believe that he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and that remains to be seen. But hey, we've seen non-Super Bowl winning quarterbacks been taken to the Super Bowl with good defense and superior coaching. But thing is, I don't do the is Dalvin Cook still injured?
No, he should be good.
Oh well, okay, yeah. If he's playing, they got a shot at winning this game. I mean, the thing is, the Seahawks have had, they lost a close one last week. I mean, in a game that I picked them to win. But come on, the Seahawks are the Seahawks. I mean, they're always going to have, offensive firepower. They're also going to, DK Metcalf's a monster. Their defense is decent, and Russell Wilson is always. I think he's going to be a top 10, top 5 quarterback until he freaking retires. I just don't think that the Vikings have the necessary tools to convincingly beat the Seahawks. So go ahead and give me the Seahawks in this game. 31-20 over the Vikings, despite the Vikings having a home game. All right. Anyway, Waz, who you got? Vikings Seahawks.
Yeah, the Vikings might be the best 0-2 team out there right now. Again, they got a lot of good weapons offensively, but this it's hard to. Again, I trust Seattle. I trust Russell more. I trust that general organization more than I trust Minnesota. I trust the coach more. There's more pieces I trust on Seattle than Minnesota, but I just think that again, Minnesota has to be in somewhat of a desperation mode at this point. Being 0-2, having those difficult losses the first 2 weeks of the season. I think this is one of those games where they just throw the kitchen sink at Seattle and just catch Seattle off guard. It's hard because if you tell me Wilson versus Cousins, I have to say Wilson. But I just think being at home, I think Minnesota is a desperate team right now. And I just think I don't see this team going 0-3. Seattle had a tough loss against Tennessee. Seattle can give up some points. Certainly. Give me, again, Dalvin's playing, and Dalvin's relatively healthy. I think Vikings certainly have a puncher's chance. I'm going to go with them in this game. That small little upset. Give me Minnesota to win this game 27-24.
All right. Flip, who you got? Seahawks, Vikings.
I think this is going to be a really close game. It'll be a fun game to watch. It might be game of the week.
Yeah.
Like Waz was saying, the Vikings are in desperation mode. I just don't see them pulling it off this game. I think it's going to be coming down to the wire, basically. It's going to be a fourth quarter game, a little back and forth. But, man, there's just something I feel like the Vikings they're having a terrible streak. Their schedule to start off the year is not there. And the Seahawks team is clicking. Russ is out there throwing bombs to Lockett. The run game is strong. Their defense is giving up points, but I mean, at the end of it, I don't know. They're keeping the games close, and I think this is going to be the same thing as last week with the Titans. I just see the Vikings losing this time around. So I'm going to go 34-31 Seahawks here, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings win because they definitely are in desperation mode at this point.
All right. Now, our one of our double main events. The first one being The Green Bay Packers going on the road against the San Francisco 49ers. Oof. Now, the Packers got their swagger back against the division opponent. I'll give them that. And the 49ers are currently undefeated. But man, they say you're only as good as your last game. And the 49ers looked all right in their last game, and like the Packers dominated. But we know the Packers' history on the road against the Niners. It's not good. So, yeah. I feel like the Niners really starting to get back into their stride, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So, yeah, that's something to look out for. Aaron Rodgers, he was looking like a world beater, slinging the ball like a champ like he always does. So he got his swagger back. This might come down to time of possession and who's got the ball last. Going ahead and give me the 49ers in this game. Give me the Niners 33-31 over the Packers. All right, Wise, who you got? Packers, 49ers.
So I'm a little bit concerned in this game because we've been able to really manhandle Green Bay the last couple of years with just our heavy dose of run. We've basically been able to run all over them in the last couple of times that we played. However, we're not maybe in a position to do that in this game, with all the injuries that the team's been dealing with. Right now, I believe Mitchell, he might be back for the game. I think he's still questionable. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure who's going to be going in at running back. They might just be piecing together a couple of practice squad guys at this point. And that's what kind of worries me, because at that point, as good as Shanahan is when it comes to scheming up, run plays, and because realistically, Shanahan can make a lot of running backs look well, despite their talent level or anything like that.
Right.
But I think at a certain point, there's going to be too much of a drop off, and the game's going to be focusing heavily on Jimmy G. And Jimmy G, he's good, but he's limited if the run game is not there. Jimmy G does extremely well when it comes to play action. And if you're not running well at all, and Jimmy G is forced to be a drop back, shotgun quarterback passer, he's not going to be able to hang toe to toe with Aaron Rodgers. We know again the Niners looked great defensively last week, but we did get torn apart by Jared Goff in week one, and I'm worried a bit that the Packers could do that to us as well. Now we are at home. I was talking with Dreadman prior to the show starting that San Francisco has this notorious thing of winning back-to-back road games and then having laying an egg when they play back at home. So again, I can see San Fran having a stinker in this game, even though the Packers might be playing on a short week and traveling to San Francisco. I could very well see San Francisco losing this game just because I don't trust the fact that we don't have a solid running back in there yet. So I'm a little worried. So I'm actually gonna pick against my team. And there could be a little bit of a reverse jinx that I'm trying to place on them right now.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Green Bay in this game, just because I think it's gonna turn into a quarterback showdown, and Jimmy G can't hang with Aaron Rodgers in that case. So give me Green Bay in this game. I'm gonna say Green Bay wins this game 28-17. But I look forward to being wrong in that.
All right, Flip, who you got? Niners, Packers.
Man, I was looking at the reports right now. It's looking like Trey Sermon is probably gonna be out there for the 49ers this week. I don't see Mitchell playing too much if he does, just because they're saying that shoulder injury is a little more serious than they thought. But I've always been under the impression that whoever you put behind that 49ers line, they could run anybody at this point. That team just, I don't know. Anybody who runs behind that line just is great.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on Jimmy G in this game, because I think that just like we saw with the Saints, I think the 49ers can replicate that against the Packers because their D-line is strong. This Packers O-line was getting manhandled, and we didn't see that against the Lions because, one, the Lions secondary was just looking suspect already with all the injuries, so they were playing a lot of two-deep safety, and they weren't, their pass rush isn't, it's just not good enough, and that's the complete opposite when you look at 49ers, at least pass rush-wise, because I know the 49ers are hurting in the secondary too, but if you can get to Aaron Rodgers, you can disrupt his entire game, and I don't think that the Packers' run is going to be as effective as the Lions was because, like I was saying earlier, I think this Lions O-line is just it's opening up holes on every team because we saw it against Green Bay and we saw it against the 49ers. I don't think the Packers' O-line is going to be opening holes against this 49ers defense. I just think that Jimmy G, it comes down to Jimmy G. If he can go out there and put up points on the board, which I'm not too confident in, I want to keep the game close here. I'm going to say 49ers win. I just think it's going to be close. I'm going to say 27-24 over the Packers.
All right, and last but not least, our Monday night game. We got the Philadelphia Eagles going on the road against the Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles, despite the fact that they're 1-1, they haven't really shown me a lot. And once again, the Dallas Cowboys very well could be hell. I mean, thing is, I can't make heads or tails of them either because they very well could be 2-0 right now. But then again, you can say the same thing. They could be 0-2 right now. So 1-1 is kind of right where you would see them. Cowboys are at home in this game, but the Eagles are no stranger to giving them a punch in the mouth while they're at home. But the thing is, it's like, do they have the firepower or the defense this year to do it? And I'm gonna say I don't think so because I mean Dak's got he's got CD Lamb, and he's got Zeke. But Zeke is he's starting to get back a little bit to where he was, but he's not 100%. But I mean, I feel like that they got the firepower, or I feel like they've got the tools necessary to get the job done against the Eagles this time. Going ahead and give me the Cowboys in this game, 27-24 over the Eagles. Waz, who you got? Eagles, Cowboys.
This is a very interesting game. The Cowboys have looked, or at least the Cowboys have looked solid and competitive in both of their games. Eagles obviously had a close game against the Niners, but their week one was a beat down of a terrible Atlanta team. Meanwhile, Dallas has had pretty competitive games against pretty competitive teams both weeks. That run game with Dallas is surprisingly, again, I didn't expect to see that much out of Pollard this year. Pollard's looked just as good as Zeke lately, if not better. But if they can get Zeke going back to what he was doing, and Pollard still does what he's doing currently,
right.
That is a hell of a 1-2 combination to have on that team. Not to mention, obviously, the receivers they've had. Cooper's looked extremely well in the games he's been and again, Cooper looked extremely well both weeks. Lamb's looked phenomenal. I even like the tight end Schultz. So again, they have a lot of weapons there. And again, I'm not sure what to make of Jalen Hurts. He looked terrific week one.
Yeah.
Didn't really do so much against my Niners. They couldn't do anything on that goal line against San Francisco. So I'm not quite sure. Dallas defense it looked great against Los Angeles, against San Diego Chargers. I'll also refer to them as San Diego every once in a while.
Yeah.
But again, Dallas looked great. Dallas looked much better, I think, overall this season and more impressive to me. They're at home in this game, first game at home. I think they win this game. I think this will be a bigger statement game for them. I think Dallas will win this game pretty solidly for their first solid win. I'll give me Dallas in this game 24-17.
All right. All right, Waz, who you got? I mean, Flip, who you got? Cowboys, Eagles.
I got to go Cowboys here. It's a division game, so I think it'll still be one of those entertaining games. It's not going to be a blowout or anything. The Eagles have surprised me. I didn't think their offense was going to be this potent. They've been coming out and putting up points, but like what I said, they weren't the greatest against that 49ers team. I just don't see the Cowboys having the same effect on them. I think the Cowboys defense is solid, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a close game. I got to go with the Cowboys still here, just because I think that the Cowboys are a complete team right now. I mean, at least on the offensive side, their defense it's not the greatest.
It's got holes in it,
but it's good enough to it's good enough to get them where they need to be. So I'm gonna go Cowboys here just off of potential. Like what I said once again, Tony Pollard looked great. He's not where we expect Zeke to be, but he's getting there. But for them to be a 1-2 punch like that in the backfield, and then already have Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb out there, you can't 1v1 them.
Yeah.
You have to double them as much as possible and hope that you can keep them in check. So give me the Cowboys in this. I'll say 24-20 over the Eagles.
All right. Well, all right, gentlemen.
We still got one more. We still got one more game.
Yeah, the Broncos and the Jets. Yeah, let's keep this one short, sweet, and to the point. Yeah, let's.
I see why you forget.
Yeah, because it's a game no one really cares about. Let's keep this short, sweet, and to the point. The Broncos. I mean, they're okay. I mean, the thing is, they actually look decent against the in their opener against the New York Giants. I mean, but. They still got a lot of room to improve because they're a shell of what they once were. And the thing is, do you guys really trust either of the quarterback situations right now? I don't, not really. The thing is, the only saving grace that the Broncos have right now is they have somewhat of a run game, and somewhat of a secondary, and that's it. And the Jets, if they don't get Zach Wilson some help, that boy's going to get murdered. I'm sorry. And this is a home game for the Broncos, too. Go ahead and give me the Broncos in this game. 26-17 over the Jets. Waz, who you got? Jets, Broncos.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more higher favorable. I actually kind of like the Broncos team a little bit. I think they got a pretty good defense. Both run and pass. But again, as well as the look, I can't imagine that they're going to look even more phenomenal against the Jets and Zach Wilson, who looked pretty crappy last week against the Patriots. Again, I like the receivers. Sutton, granted they lost Judy, he's an IR right now, but the tight end, Bridgewater's pretty serviceable. He gets the job done. He's a better quarterback than Denver's had in the last few years.
Yeah.
So I think he's serviceable enough that this team it can be a winning team. It can be like a fringe playoff team.
Yeah.
Granted, they are in a tough division, but
yes.
They got a good schedule so far. So I can't imagine. I think they're going to keep it up here against the Jets. I think they'll win pretty handily. Give me Broncos 27, Jets 17.
All right, well, Flip, who you got? Jets, Broncos.
Basically everything was said, I agree with. I like the Broncos defense. I think their run game is serviceable. I think their quarterback is serviceable. Teddy Bridgewater has shown us he can win games for them over there. This Jets team is in shambles. They're horrible. There's no hope for Zach Wilson there. He needs some help. Someone has to save that man.
Yes.
I see why Sam Darnold got out like he did.
He sees ghosts.
This team is just terrible. I think we see what the Patriots did to them last week. It's happened kind of again. I'm going to say Broncos 24, Jets
Well, gentlemen, that'll do it for our Week 3 predictions. You guys got any final thoughts before we sign out tonight?
Yeah, hopefully your teams do well. They don't get, I'm not going to say robbed by the refs.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
They don't have their games influenced by the refs.
Yeah. I'd rather take a complete fair ass whooping than to get screwed by the refs.
Yeah, at this point, it's not fun seeing these calls, especially a lot of these calls that have been going on in the NFL with the taunting and the fumbles on passes.
And can somebody please explain to me why all these happen in clutch time within like the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter? Why don't they happen like at the beginning of the first half? Why don't they happen in like the opening kickoff? Why don't they have like it always a referee? A game should never have to come down to the call of a referee. I'm sorry, it shouldn't.
It shouldn't, but I mean it happens, and a lot of these calls are real sketchy.
Yeah,
but I mean, what can you do?
They're real ticket tack, but yeah, you're right. What can you do? Waz, final thoughts?
No, man. Just I think there's a handful of games that'll be watchable. There's not as many, maybe as the week before. But I'm looking forward to a couple of games, obviously involving our team. But I think the Chargers and the Chiefs game, potential game of the week, the Bucks and the Rams. I'm looking forward to seeing my Niners play Sunday night. I love Sunday night games. Had a pretty good slew of Sunday night games the last couple of weeks. So looking forward to that. And again, man, I keep an eye out for that on that Jacksonville. All right. On that Jacksonville Arizona game, man. I'm telling you right now that I know it's in Arizona, but that I'm telling you that's a weird, eerie thing. I think Arizona's gonna choke. All
right, I'll hold you to that. But anyway, ladies and gents, thank you guys for watching on YouTube. We will see you guys next week. Flip-wise as always. Thank you, fellas. Thank you for helping me host the show, and I'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us, man.
All right, no problem. See you next week.